Welcome, everybody. It's your girl Delores, just a pink girl in my pink world, here on every social platform now. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with my good brother J.News. J.News, you got to say something to the good people?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As I your good brother J.News, I'm back at it again here, the Hit the Ropes podcast, every Sunday afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, giving you the details, the breakdown, and everything else in between in the week that was in professional wrestling. Thank you for joining us as usual. And yeah, Dolores got to get that show on the road.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you already know what time it is. It's time for the Hit the Ropes podcast. Oh, they want to skip that. Review, ladies and gentlemen, review. It's time for the review. We're going to skip one review, which is Raw, because we were here Tuesday and we already did it. So we're going to start off with NXT today. Ladies and gentlemen, it's NXT 782 on the 22nd on the CW. We have the WWE Women's Tag Team title match. The Judgment Day, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defeated Gigi Dola and Tatum Paxley. We have the WWE NXT Heritage Cup match where there was a title change because Noam Dar defeated Lexis King. Thea Hale defeated Fallon Henley. We had Dark State, Dion Lennox, and Osiris Griffin defeat Javon Evans and Miles Bourne. And the last match of the night, the WWE NXT Women's title match, Stephanie Vaquer defeated Roxanne Perez. J News, did you see any of this and what did you think?
I did watch NXT this week just to get a feel as for what WWE is planning on doing in their immediate future with a lot of the talent that's been on NXT for a while. To see if anybody would get promoted post Mania and things of that nature. Haven't seen anything as of yet that would allow me to believe that. But for the NXT show that happened on Tuesday, actually a really good match between the Judgment Day girls and Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley. Give the girls credit there. But obviously now they're going to have to, storyline wise, they're going to have to put another female tag team in contention against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. So I'm trying to figure out who that's going to be in the coming weeks and months and things of that nature. Shout out to Noam Dar for his return from injury. He's been out for damn near a year at this point, coming back to his old look, pre-metaphor, and beating Lexis King for is rightfully his, which is the WWE NXT Heritage Cup. Everything looked good with Noam Dar. A little bit winded, so his cardio wasn't where it was supposed to be, but that's to be expected. But at the end of the day, I think he's a tremendous in-ring talent and things of that nature. And he came into his own over the last year when he joined the Metaphor and he came up with the character that he was doing. So I'll definitely looking forward to seeing as to what Noam Dar has to provide NXT. Thea Hale, 2 weeks in a row now, back on TV. Shouts to Thea Hale for being back on TV. I think there's going to be an eventual breakup here of the ladies of Fatal Attraction because it seems like they're on the outs. Dark State, the grouping of the four young men in NXT, seems to be losing a lot of steam with the crowd. So I just wanted to point that out to everybody. So I'm not too sure if the whole Dark State project is working the way they wanted it to. And with Stephanie and Roxanne, it was a really, really good match. Roxanne and Stephanie can't do any wrong. I'm just waiting to see as to what the deal with Roxanne's going to be. Is she going to stay in NXT? Is she going to be on the main roster? Like, what's going on with Roxanne? That's more or less my question. And Stephanie she's great at the end of the day. So can't say anything else much about her in that sense.
As far as NXT goes, I enjoyed it. I do have the same questions of like, where's Roxanne going? And is Roxanne the only person going? Because
Right.
the Raw after Mania, we saw Stephanie and Julia all up. And so it kind of makes me wonder if they're all coming up or if it's just, you know, they were just testing it out and see how it would go, and maybe they'll have a main. Well, Roxanne has had many uh main matches, even some dark matches. So just maybe to see how it goes, because Triple A has other women that they could kind of plug in NXT that could take the spot and kind of train them a little bit to get ready for main TV.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They have plenty. They have plenty of female talent that can definitely plug in there. Um, but we'll see. Like you said, Roxanne's been up and down between main roster and NXT. It doesn't seem like they really have anything for her as of now. I'm correcting myself. Uh, Fraxium did show up on SmackDown, so that was a call up during this week post Mania. So I want to give those boys credit for the work that they've been doing. But I want to see as to what else is going to be happening with the rest of this roster and how everything shapes out. But solid show
Yeah,
for
because you have to find to bring Stephanie up. You definitely gonna have to find somebody worthy to hold the title. So
Yeah, I just feel like I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you feel this way, Dolores. I just feel like the women's roster on the main roster is a bit overcrowded right
yeah,
now. So I'm not too sure where she would fit, which is why I think they're having a problem fitting Roxanne in and whatnot. So I think some of with Charlotte coming back, maybe if
it might be a good thing that they're a little overcrowded, because a lot of those women are married. A lot of them have expressed in interviews that they want to have kids. So that might give them time where you can miss somebody for
sure.
a year and
Mhm.
then have somebody grow and then have people come back. Kind of like what AEW does with rotating people
Mhm.
sometimes. That might be a good option.
Yeah, yeah, I completely
The
agree with
only
you.
thing am I tripping, but was Lana signed to a Legends deal?
She was signed to a that was the report that came out via her agent in the media that
When
she
did she
signed.
do Legendary? I'm just trying to figure that out.
I mean, you don't have to you don't have to be a legendary figure to have a Legends deal. I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to use her, name, image, and likeness to make merch and have her do signings and things of that nature, whatever the case is. It provides her with a source of income at the end of the day. So,
Yeah. So
that's
I was kind of, when we get to Friday night, I was glad that for the we had the nice uh comebacks and different things on Monday. That Friday they were like, where normally they would be like, well, we're not doing anything. They really put effort into like having surprises and different things, which I was like, okay, you really taking into consideration that it's not just one show.
yeah.
That it doesn't just happen on Monday. Yeah, and that whole, listen, I don't know your advice if you thought about. Let me put us back up here. I don't know if what you thought about that whole stupid Penn and Teller thing at the pay per view.
Yeah, I didn't watch that, so
Essentially, Lexus didn't believe in magic or whatever,
Mhm.
and they made the Heritage Cup disappear. And then he had to
Interesting.
come back and essentially admit that he was wrong. And then he had to also, I think he ended up setting his match up where he had to admit to a match to somebody, but didn't know who it was. And so didn't know him. Dark comes out. That's
Okay,
how he
so
loses.
it's a bit of foreshadowing there. All right, makes
Yeah.
sense.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to the next show, which is, it is Friday Night SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen. Friday Night SmackDown happened on the 25th. You can see it on the USA Network. Like J.News mentioned, Fraxium came up. Fraxium is Axiom and Nathan Frazier. They defeated Los Garza of Angel and Berto. We had Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton ending in no contest. WWE Women's United States title match. Zelina Vega won the championship against Chelsea Green in a title change. The United States number one contendership match. We had Drew McIntyre defeat LA Knight by DQ. We had a WWE tag team title tables, ladders, and chairs triple threat match where the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford defeated DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, and the Motor City Machine Guns of Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. J News, did you see this and what did you think?
Well, um, let me talk about the matches first. Good showing for the boys from Fraxium. There have been rumors about during the week that there might have been some changes in lieu for the boys in Fraxium from a character standpoint, but they decided against it for the time being, at least. So they showed up as is. Good showing for them against Los Garzas. Jade and Tiffany ending in a no contest happened because Naomi came out and took her and made her. She came out and she beat on Jade. So they're going to continue on that. And now with Bianca injured but back on SmackDown, we can finally flesh out this story the way it's supposed to be fleshed out. Tiffany, though, also got attacked, but not by Naomi. She was attacked by Big Nina. What's her name? What's the stage name? God damn it. For Nia Jax. There you go. She got attacked by Nia Jax.
Yeah, because they had a confrontation in the back.
Yeah. So she got attacked by Nia Jax and stuff like that. So Nia Jax is coming for that title on Tiffany Stratton. So is Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill, there's supposed to be this matchup against Tiffany Stratton. I don't think it was a title match that it went off for, but Jade wanted to prove her mettle. It was a decent match for what it was when it was going, but I'm just me personally, I'm disinterested in Jade Cargill, but Tiffany is strong. Nia Jax is still doing her. She's back on TV at this point, and Naomi, she's gonna keep on healing it up. Shouts to whoever her gear maker is. That's one hell of a suit that she had on with all that caution stuff. So props to her on that. Zelina Vega.
I think, does she make her gear now?
Naomi, no, she doesn't. No.
I know when she was with Bianca was helping making their gear together.
Yeah.
But and shout out to Bianca. I forgot to shout out that last week that her stepdaughter, Montez's daughter,
She
was
was
in
during
the
the
entrance.
entrance. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, that is so cool. Also, for those people who don't, they like to play too much, and I respect some people like to play too much. But I got some information for you, J News.
Mm.
This man who visits, different graves at different places, uh, visit Eddie's Guerrero's grave, right?
Mm-hmm.
People had put a championship out. Some people had even did TikToks where they went out there and it's like, your son won a championship and different things. But they noticed originally he flashed back to the video he went when he initially went out there. It was him and Vicky side by side. They had Vicky already had a stone made and everything. Her face and his face on it. Vicky is gone. They took Vicky off and they just left Eddie by himself.
Okay.
And I was like, at that point, I was like, oh, Vicky, you have messed up bad. You have messed up real bad. They don't even want you near him at this point.
Yeah.
And the man said what happened is that what he thinks happened is once she got remarried, they took her part off of him.
Oh, I mean that could definitely be the case.
And so I was like, but he noticed he had been documenting because he sometimes he comes out there and cleans it. That fans are very protective of some of these stones and different things, and so he was noticing out there some people had laid championships out there and flowers and different things. And some people, when it came up the timeline, were out there and like, Dom won a championship. Your son. I'm like, y'all taking this too far. This man he trying to rest. He don't care about Dom at all. But I did.
That is an interesting bit of information. I'll say that.
Those are the things that I find some of that stuff interesting because you want to know how people, sometimes even the behind the scenes stuff, like how people are, what people's like getting to know people. Because sometimes you see these people and you Like for us, we know Charlotte because we've seen her from WCW and her brother. Um, Restream won't let you be great the last 2 weeks, will it?
And that's
Uh, so she won't, and seeing her grow up, seeing Cody growing up, we saw him in WCW and different things. It's the fact that we get to see these people grow and kind of get a behind the scenes. And find them very interesting. Hey, Leonica, how you doing? Thank you for coming. So I think that is why when things come up like that, I'm like, oh, I'm really interested. Why is these things happening? As far as the Drew LA Knight match, I would like to say I enjoyed Jacob coming out there looking like he belonged in the Juggalos, and he was a vato, and he about to just jump out his seat. I really did enjoy that. It made me laugh because I was like, okay. Um, the Street Profits, we'll talk about them a little bit later for me, but I really enjoy them getting their time in the sun now because I feel like they've been disrespected too long.
Uh, yeah. Just to say that the ladder match was great. Um, I agree with a lot of the fans on the internet. I feel like this TLC multi tag team ladder match should have been a WrestleMania match. It would have given everybody involved a bigger platform, and it would have given them their WrestleMania moment instead of this having to be on the SmackDown after WrestleMania. So I'll say that. One thing, man, to the big homie, Jacob Fatu. I thought it was Niner Gang all day, man. What you doing wearing that Raider gear, dog? What's going on?
Yeah, see, you know how they pander. Also, speaking of the ladder match, the biggest pop that I gave when Montez ended up come out dressed as Shawn Michaels, I lost it because he come out there and all I could do, their whole theme went dead in my head, and all of a sudden I heard, "You just a sexy boy." I just started singing it because immediately I knew what it was, and I was like, I know Sean is in the back popping because at least Sean is the type of person. I don't know if you all know. I'm not gonna say he has always completely been down with us. But once he once he got in, he said, "I'm gonna be 10 toes down with y'all." And if you've ever seen behind the scenes, like when he talked to Carmelo and the rest of that, Carmelo be talking real hood, and Sean be just with him talking hood, and then he might say something. He be like, what does that mean?" And then he'll use it later on, like in a promo backstage, and I'll be looking like, Sean, I know we've already put you in the cookouts category, you and Cody. But I just like the sexy red stuff with him and her and them rapping in the car. The other stuff, I cannot wait. If Shawn Michaels just happens to watch this show one time, it's a lady, Flipper T. She's from Georgia. She remixed his theme. What she says she's looking for a sexy boy. I really want him and her to get together because she's very very smart, good mom, everything. Get together and they do that as with his entrance one time. I swear I would lose my mind. But we got Alistair Black back.
Yeah, look, I think there's a reason as to why I skipped over that. It's still a lot of wait and see when it comes to him uh, on TV.
Yeah.
I've always admired and been a fan of his ring work and his character work, no matter where he's been. Um, be it the European indie scene, be it WWE, be it AEW. I've really been a fan of everything he's done. Um, but I want to be able to hold on and care more for what he's doing instead of like thinking he's just going to be chilling and catering.
He lost
Uh,
his eye again, and I was like, okay, so we going back to that. At least we didn't
right.
like.
I mean, he's it's kayfabe or nothing at the end of the day. So he doesn't let stuff die. So I
He
can
got his eye
appreciate
back
that.
at AEW. They healed it, and he lost it again here in
Yeah.
WWE.
It's we'll see how it goes. He had a nice little, he had a nice moment with his wife after his wife won the championship in behind the scenes and stuff like that. So cool for them. At least they get to spend more time together and things of that nature. I just hope that him as a talent, that he gets used in a way where he feels valued. Uh,
I I couldn't. I have to go back and listen to his theme, but generally, I know was it Jediah has um remixed his theme. He remixed everybody thing. His Bianca theme, I have to send it to you that he remixed.
yeah.
I was like, I need that in my music playlist. Like most of his music, I need it in my playlist. And he works with them on their podcast
Hmm.
show, their YouTube show. So I was glad that he wasn't rising up off that platform like he used to, and B that they remembered that he had lost an eye. He kind of still had, like, quote unquote, he has the eye. He's not wearing a patch or nothing. He ain't doing all that crazy stuff. But they kind of kept the storyline, like they kind of picked up where they left off. Because
Right.
sometimes when people come back, it's like we got a whole new character, whole new song, whole new interest, whole new everything, and they act like they don't know what's going on with them. And so I appreciate that. What was it, Monday or today that Rusev came out?
I think it was Monday. Rusev came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rusev, I appreciate them not making him go back to be this character. I also appreciate that for now we don't have Lana, because that was my first concern when he ran out there. It's like, is Lana gonna come back? I mean, because I knew she had the Legends deal, but I was like, is she gonna come back with this fake accent again? Are we gonna do this all over again? But I appreciate that they are like, okay, people do, they're more than what just we see. Like he is a whole character now. He's not just out here now. With Aleister Black, Miz is the person that you knock out. That's the person. That's his role. He is the a-hole, and you, as a babyface character, are supposed to take him out. So the moment I saw Miz standing out there in his white suit with his red bottoms on, I knew he was going to immediately get knocked out when I heard the music. And when he
Yeah.
spin kicked him and knocked him out, and Miz just stiffened and fell, I said, at this point in the moment, this is a good thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go on to the next show, which is AEW Dynamite, AEW All Elite Wrestling. You can catch this on TBS, HBO. They both stream at the same time. I said, go back. Y'all want to go for it today? Mark Briscoe defeated Ricochet. The Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, defeated Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey. The Don Callis family, Josh Alexander and Konosuke Takeshita, defeated Brody King and Will Ospreay. And for the Owen Hart 2025 Women's Tournament semifinal match, Jamie Hayter defeated Chris Statlander. Did you see this, J News, and what did you think?
Yeah, yeah. I saw Dynamite on Wednesday. Another strong episode of Dynamite, in my opinion. Mark Briscoe and Ricochet uh, doing their best bits as their relative characters and things of that nature, but also putting on quite the good in ring match and stuff like that. Though Ricochet's character is intertwined with Mark Briscoe's character. Mark Briscoe trying to find new friends as the conglomeration has fell apart in recent times and things of that nature. Ricochet doesn't necessarily have an alliance to anybody, but they're people who have the same agenda will likely align with folks. So now we're getting this super tag team match coming up this week on Dynamite. So Ricochet's fitting in nicely in that mid card, to top of the card. Type mix on AEW. The Young Bucks match, the tag match with Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey, was tremendous It was classic Young Bucks tag team wrestling, which is why they're considered one of the best tag teams to ever do it. And Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey put on quite the show. I think pairing them together since that All Star 8-man tag a couple of weeks back has been a breath of fresh air for both of them, and at the same time, it's been good for them, and they've been highlighted and spotlighted, and fans are starting to get behind Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey. The Don Callis family tag team match against Brody King and Will Ospreay. I thought the Brody King and Will Ospreay thing was weird. Their pairing was odd, but Brody in my eyes can't do any wrong. Yet again, I'll mention it again this week. I want to see Brody King stop taking pins because the dude is a monster. The fans are behind him and stuff like that. And the guy who wrestles the style that he wrestles and looks the way that he looks shouldn't be losing as many matches as he has been in recent times. So there was that. Also, I think we had two segments for promo work. MJF did another segment with the Hurt Syndicate again. This time, MJF was trying to bribe Bobby Lashley with a car. The Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin in this case, deboed the car from MJF, and he still got the thumbs down. So he's still working on that, even though MVP and Shelton Benjamin are letting MJF rock. MJF is still trying to turn Bobby on his side. So I thought that was pretty funny. And then we had the women's match at the end of it all. Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander did the damn thing, had a banger of a match to end the night. The women yet again for the third week in a row, main eventing Dynamite and killing it. So now we have the final setup, being that Jamie Hayter beats Chris Statlander. It's going to be Jamie Hayter versus Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing on May 25th, and that should be one hell of a match. Now that we have we're still a month away, I'm sure we're going to have different story beats happen going into Double or Nothing with the ladies, so that folks can be even more invested in the match and in the individual talents and stuff like that. So yeah, all in all, another solid good episode of Dynamite on Wednesday.
Yeah, I liked it. I've been liking the past few episodes.
Yeah.
I think we turned after the pay per view. We're kicking in a high gear. Now the first episode after the pay per view, where the Jacksons trying to explain themselves, that part irritated me. But now I kind of got in the groove, kind of understand what they trying to do, seeing. It's really good, ladies and gentlemen. Let's wrap it up. No, I'm joking. ROH. That's what I be trying to say in ROH. Let's wrap it up. When I be screaming at my TV screen. Ooh, it went far, far. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it was ROH Honor Club 113 on the 24th on the ROH app or ROHWrestling.com. We had the premier athletes, Ari Daivari and Tony Nese, alongside the Righteous of Dutch and Vince, defeat the Spanish announced project of Angelico Serpentico, the Kingdom of Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. We had Lance Archer defeat Crowbar. We had the ROH Women's World Title Proving Ground match. Red Velvet defeated Ashley Vox. AR Fox, Mark Briscoe, and Top Flight. Dante and Darius Martin defeated Shane Taylor Productions, Charlie Bravo, Lee Moriarty, Shane Taylor, and Sean Dean. J.News, did you see any of this? And what did you think?
Shout out to the Righteous, the Spanish Announced Project, and the Kingdom, all making comebacks on one show on ROH. It's been a minute since I've seen Dutch and Vincent. I thought they were on a good roll before they got taken off of TV. So hopefully they get back on that roll. And Helico finally back from injury. He's been one of those dudes who's always stood out to me since my days of watching him on Lucha Underground. And I'm glad to see the Kingdom back on ROH, man. I thought that with what happened with Mike Bennett's wife and AEW and things of that nature, I didn't know if Mike was going to continue working with AEW/ROH. And thankfully they are. I feel like they're a strong veteran tag team that can be either on ROH
Well,
or
isn't his
on.
contract not up?
No,
So this,
yeah, Mike's contract's not
yeah,
up.
because that's what I was figuring he would not cause a scene.
Yeah,
Because if you remember in WWE, it was something similar.
yeah.
They did her wrong, kicked her out, and he stayed till his contract was up.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, and with what's been going on as of late with folks, especially specifically in AEW, who have all this time left on their contracts and they're just not on TV. I was scared that was going to happen to Mike. So thankfully, he's on TV back with Matt Taven. They're a good veteran tag team and whatnot. So glad to see them back on TV. La Red, aka Red Velvet, defeating Ashley Vox. The clips I saw this week of Red was with Red and La Catalina in the ring, like basically like verbally going at it and stuff like that. So it seems like La Catalina from CMLL will be challenging in the near future for the ROH Women's television title against Red Velvet. And I didn't get to see anything from that last multi-man match.
Um, I like the multi-man match. I can understand the decision of why they did what they did, but I'm getting really sick on ROH of seeing Shane Taylor Productions take a L.
Yeah.
They're so good. And then you have also the infantry, Queen Aminata, uh who I forgot her name just that quick. Brain freeze. That's with the infantry.
Jesus. I know who you're talking about. I'm freezing on her name too
Yeah.
right
I'm
now.
tired of her taking L's too. It seems like they just taking L after L after L. And I love the infantry's
Trisha
match
Dora.
over
Trisha Dora.
Trisha Dora.
Mhm.
I Pan African diaspora champion. Yeah.
Mhm.
I absolutely am upset that they keep taking these L's. And then I'm upset that I saw out of for the culture, I was upset at every match except for watching the infantry take on Culture Inc.
Hmm.
That match I truly adored, and I was like, okay, why are they doing good outside of AEW and ROH, but inside of AEW ROH, they like most of their matches that they do win are like against Dark Order or something.
Yeah, that
It
seems to be the case with a few of the talents on that are signed to AEW, right? I'm not going to say that are on TV, but a lot of the talents that are signed to AEW that might have um, scarce TV outings, or they're shuttling between ROH and AEW. When they do their indie dates, they're booked as the top talent instead of being for to use a lesser term, being jobbed out while they're on TV. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
uh,
it's like even with Marina, I see more of her doing good work in other
mhm.
outside ventures, even before she got with Moxley. But since she's been with Moxley and on main TV, it's like she's not really doing anything. And that's the point that irritates me is that if I didn't know any better and I didn't see them do anything else, I would think that that's the highest ceiling that they're gonna get. Is just keep jobbing out to people. But now that I know that they do better and I've seen them do better, I'm like, why can't you? Even with Billy Starr, I have argued that she has taken this girl gone bad in multiple companies. Athena has been by her side and just wrecked it. I mean, she's fought men and wrecked it. And then you come on ROH and you see her just play dumb and that she's not this bad character and she don't know what to do. And it's like, come on now. I know y'all see this character and sometimes the storylines, because some companies have storylines and that's how they lead the match. That she's having these storylines, that she's this character, and she's doing really great at it. And then you come in and you have her do this stuff like uh feel jealous of Athena when she just whooped a grown man and made him beg for mercy. That's the kind of thing that kind of makes me upset about it. I'm glad that they've cut their now listen, they have cut their matches down significantly. Because I used to have 10 matches that I had to watch on ROH that by the end of it, I was like, I really could have just did with 3. I'm glad they cut these matches down. But also make these matches mean something when it comes to fighting for titles and different things. Sometimes they're fighting for titles on ROH that I already know who's gonna win. The only time we get really good storylines and some interest is when they're going into a pay-per-view. Past that, it's just you just watching to be watching. And then if they come up to the main roster, I know they're gonna get jobbed out. If they get jobbed out millions of times, what is the Tony Leona and them? They get jobbed out all the time too. So I just don't understand. I can tell the top stars and who is going. They want to move up to the next level by their losing record. And at that certain point, it's like you don't have interest in any of these people. And then when they do make it to the main roster and you're trying to get them a push or something, I no longer care because I've seen them get whooped 99 times. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going on to the next show, which is Collision, AEW Collision, which happened yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. And they had a special episode called the Playoff Palooza. It was on TNT, HBO Max. We had Swerve Strickland defeat Blake Christian. We had for the AEW Women's World Title Eliminator match, Toni Storm defeat Queen Aminata. Hologram defeated Max Caster. Anna Jay defeated Taylor Gainey. Tornado tag match, we had Crew, which is Action Andrade and Leo Rush defeat Top Flight, Dante and Darius Martin. We had for the ROH World title match, Bandito defeat Dralistico. We had FTR, which is Cash Wheeler and Dax Hardwood, along with Stokely Hathaway in their corner, defeat Paragon of Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. Did you see this and what did you think?
I did see this. It's another strong episode of Collision. Swerve Strickland's match was quote unquote moved up on the card. We saw the EVPs of AEW, the forefathers, as they like to call themselves. Now, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson basically move around Swerve Strickland's match from later on in the night in order to, and instead of starting the show here, he was up against the Vanilla Baby, Blake Christian, who came out with Lee Johnson and things of that nature. Swerve Strickland played up the character that he wanted to make quick work of Blake Christian, but Blake Christian kept on, and he wouldn't go silently. So I got to give the Vanilla Baby that credit right there at the end of the day. But Swerve did end up defeating Blake Christian, but then the EVPs did come down to beat up on Swerve. And then in order for Swerve to get saved, he got saved by none other than one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, Kenny, by God, Omega, came down to thwart the Young Bucks, and they left the ring. They fled the ring and things of that nature. And Swerve, it seems like Swerve and Kenny Omega, for the time being, are on the same page because they want to do away with the Young Bucks. Toni Storm in an eliminator match versus Queen Aminata in a very hard-hitting physical bout between the two ladies. Toni Storm, even after the win, gave Queen Aminata her props, shook her hand and things of that nature, and rose her hand after defeat and things that and whatnot. So giving Queen Aminata her flowers. Even after defeating her and things of that nature, Queen Aminata put on quite a show of very interesting offense during the match there, which was all over the internet yesterday.
Yes, buddy. I was like, what's happening?
So I said to myself, Queen Aminata spends a lot of time either at the strip club or watching Brazilian TV. But anyways, outside of that, good match for them. Max Caster still doing his whole him being the best wrestler alive open challenge. Hologram came through answering the open challenge, beating Max Caster. Hologram looking like $1 million as always. So that was cool to see. Anna Jay, first time on TV in 4 months. Glad to see Anna Jay back. She got her win over a local talent. But then after Anna Jay won her match, Penelope Ford, super bad Penelope Ford, came down and started beating up Anna Jay. And then eventually Megan Bayne came down, made Anna Jay bow down. She gave Anna Jay the F5. And it seems that Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford are going to be beefing with Anna Jay. Hopefully, this leads to Tay Mello coming back to TV, because Tay came back in January to wrestle in Japan, and she's ready to go. And I hope that she gets. I hope that she does return to AEW TV, and they start what they started last year, which is starting to amplify a women's tag division in AEW. That's really more or less my hope, where all this is going. The Tornado tag match between Crew and Top Flight was way better than I thought it was going to be. But with Crew winning, there was a spot during the match where I believe it was Darius. Darius inadvertently hit Layla Gray. She went down to the ground and things of that nature. And, obviously the boys were worrying about her and all that jazz. Crew ended up getting the win, not because of that, but because they just did more than what they had to in order to get the win. There was a backstage segment that the brothers Darius and Dante cut with Layla there, and Layla seemed to be very pissed off about what had just transpired, not only in the match, but what's been transpiring with Crew in recent weeks, and she stormed off and away from Top Flight. So we might continue to see the disintegration of Top Flight continue there. So that's something to keep an eye on. Bandito versus Dralistico, super luchas, as I like to call it. This match was sloppy. It was hard hitting. It was physical, and it was way sloppier than what I expected for a lucha match. But it worked. Bandito retaining his ROH championship against Dralistico and things like
Which
that.
I was surprised by
Yeah,
because Bandito lately has had sloppy moments, but
yeah,
not a sloppy complete match, and that was a sloppy complete match.
yeah. So exactly to your point, Dolores. It was a sloppy complete match. Maybe it's because of the time off he's had in recent months, a concussion and everything else in between, and all that. He's still trying to find his bearings and stuff like that. Is what I want to think. You know what I'm saying? Outside of it just looking all over the place and whatnot. But Dralistico had another fantastic outing and stuff like that. So hopefully there's more to do in the future. Me saying that, next match after that was Roosh, the other member of LFI, coming back to TV second week in a row, defeating AR Fox in a very physical match. I like the fact that Fox is on TV. It's just that I feel like they're using so many different talents to take all these pins and losses nowadays. It's like it really diminishes value for some of these guys in fans' eyes. So we'll
It
see.
would be good if like they lost, and then they had a shock win, but they
Yeah,
don't ever get that shock win ever.
no, exactly. Yeah. So my hope is that they don't just get used as enhancement talent at the end of the day, but we'll see how it all works out. Roosh was meant to look strong in this match. He looked strong. We'll be seeing a lot of the luchadors or Mexican representation wrestlers be spotlighted on AEW TV going into Grand Slam, which will be taking place in June. Just
And then
people.
that pay per view that you were talking about last time with the CMLL.
Yeah,
CMLL is team. We'll talk about a preview where CMLL and MLW are coming together.
yeah.
So they're coming together a lot. And for those who want to watch it, MLW's pay per views and shows are now all on YouTube.
yeah. And the final match of the night, I don't think I'm missing anything backstage wise from everything that was happening. FTR defeated the Paragon of Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. What can I say, man? These four gentlemen, they can do no wrong in my eyes. I thought that the match was fantastic. The selling was amazing between Kyle and Roderick Strong and what Dax and Cash were doing, and all that. After FTR won their match, they won the match. They wanted to do even more dastardly stuff to the boys of the Paragon, but Adam Cole came out to check on the boys. Then they try to then FTR tried to have their way with Adam Cole, and then Daniel Garcia's music hit. Daniel Garcia came out with a crowbar in hand to um, to clear away the situation with FTR. He got on the mic, Daniel did, and he told FTR to mind their business, and if they really want some, come get some, basically. So we'll see how that all breaks down in the coming weeks. But
Listen,
it seems that they're
Stokely
pairing.
with them is a trip because you got these country boys with this hood man Stokely, who is like black power to the fullest, and it's hilarious to see them side by side because
It,
I'm so used to seeing Stokely.
it still doesn't sit right with me for
It
some reason.
don't, but I laugh at it because
Like I
it's
love
just
Stoke on TV, Dolores. I'm with you. I love Stoke on TV, but it just for whatever reason this this new together team of Stokely with FTR just seems kind of odd. But yeah, I'll see where it goes. At the end of the day, I'll see where it goes.
I just think he's always come off as kind of like nah, like I will do what I needs to be done, but I represent my people. And then you got he rapping. Listen, that clip where I used to play it on workouts all the time, where he looks at the camera, he was like, I'm not a killer, but don't push me. Listen, that, from then on, me and Stokely, we've been together like glue, okay? Because he raps lyrics, he talks smack, but to see him next to these two very country looking men was just like, Stoke, are you that desperate for talent that you willing just to be like,
Well,
but my morals?
people. I saw this online. Somebody said this online where they were saying that he he telegraphed this. Remember when Stoke was on TV with trying to get Private Party to be his
Yeah.
tag team, and in those vignettes he was showing Private Party FTR matches. So he was trying to get Private Party to be more like FTR. But then Stoke came off of TV because he was doing his thing with Chris Statlander for a while, and then once that died,
That didn't work out at all for me. That didn't work out at all for me.
when that died, I said to myself, "Damn, I wonder what happened with Stoke. I hope it's not anything bad because he does have quite the reputation. At the end of the day, I don't necessarily know what happened, so I'm not gonna assume whatever the case is. Now we see him back on TV because he came back on. I think it was Wednesday night where he debuted as FTR's agent and stuff like that. I just find the pairing odd. For right now, I hope it starts to click for me. But I felt like he was just out there as an extra body for this particular match and whatnot. He wasn't
I think
necessarily doing
he
anything
is now going to
much for a
be
pairing.
FTR are good wrestlers.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't necessarily think they promos connect to me.
Mm,
It's almost like it almost feels like when they talk, like I feel like I'm transported to a time when that red and yellow man used to talk, and he's like, you know what, I'm coming for you. Like that don't work nowadays. We want to have some emotion, some feeling, not just talking to us like you feeling like you forced or something. So I think at a certain point, Stoke is supposed to be their mouthpiece. He's supposed to
uh,
be the crap talker. He's supposed to get you interested and hype for them, and because they need that. Now,
uh,
when you had all three of Copeland and them together, think about all they promos.
yeah, I'm
It was
gonna.
either shortly after of a match or backstage, and they were like, we're gonna beat you, we're gonna do the, and it just always seemed like them 70s, 80s promos
I mean,
where
that's the gimmick, Dolores. At the end of the day, but
I know, but
disagree
that's
with
not
you.
working for nobody. I'm
I'm
not
gonna
running out to
disagree with
buy
you.
their merch because they told me, you know what, we're FTR and we're gonna come and get you. That doesn't work anymore. You even
I'm
though that's the character, even with what's his name that I make the tag team I make fun of, Boulder and what's their name? They're like their 70s gimmicks.
You mean the Outrunners?
Yes,
Mhm.
they even like they have this thing where they go at least they go far back to the point where like if you've ever heard them promo, they're like almost like, oh, why is his name escaping me? Everybody's name is escaping me today. The one who shakes the ropes.
The Ultimate Warrior.
Yes, almost like that.
Mhm.
Like pacing around, like they're like they have been on something and it's not coming down. That's how much their promos are funny.
Mhm.
FTRs is not funny. It's not exciting. It's just, hey, I'm gonna tell you what's been written on this paper or what I figured out in my head, and that's it. And I'm like, at a certain point, y'all need a little razzle dazzle, and I think Stokely was the razzle dazzle that they
Yeah,
needed.
I disagree, but it
Because
is.
even think about them Jay Uso things they had vignettes backstage, whatever's. It was hilarious to watch the Jay Uso part, like not Jay Uso, but the Usos part. Their part was like for instance, the itching powder.
Mhm.
I've seen that 59 million times in wrestling. I might giggle. It's not always funny. But when FTR did it, it was not funny at all.
Mhm.
And like, oh, we're itching. Oh, we're itching. Oh, what did you do to us? We're itching. And it was like, put some emotion. Make us want to laugh. This is what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to pop people at least one good time. We might not think it was the best thing ever, but at least pop us. And they don't give any excitement or any pop. They just there. And I don't know if they just that's just their part. It seems like that's just their personality.
Could be, could be.
And because interviews they also are bland too.
Mhm.
So it's like pulling teeth. It's like the host might say a joke, ah, and then you might see Dax or Cash over there like, yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah, I
like,
mean they've been the straight guys since I watched them on TV. So
yeah.
I don't
And
I
so
don't.
you can only go with that so long before people are like over it. So now you got Stokely and you got this um opposite of personality. So where they might start off a promo and say, re FTR, then you got Stokely in the background, bobbing his head, talking smack, getting them kind of in the trouble sometimes because he running his mouth. You got a little bit of spice now. And now I want to see that. I just didn't want Stoke to be the man to do that. I wanted somebody else, like them to team with another person who had some charisma and some things. I think Edge, I'm gonna call him Edge. Edge used to have that, and then at a certain point, I don't know what. I think around the time with Randy Orton, when him were wrestling, was it called the greatest match ever or whatever like that? It was I was over him and his talking and his promo by then. But we'll see. Hopefully they work out. Hopefully they do. Because Stokely, you need to find a home and keep it. Okay? Right now, you just bouncing from house to house. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go into a show that I was we're gonna say I wasn't the greatest about, okay? It was TNA wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. And TNA wrestling, it was Impact 1083 on Access TV on the 24th. We had the system, which is JDC and Moose, defeat Ace Austin and Trey Miguel. We had JC Jane defeat Rosemary. We had TB defeat Misa Kate. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I know what y'all thinking to yourself. Dolores, why you keep calling that lady TB? I don't mess with her and she don't mess with me. So she's just TB. Elijah and Joe Hendry defeated Ethan Page and Frankie Kazarian. J.News, did you see any clips of this or anything? Or what did you think?
Nope.
We're going to keep it trucking because I saw it and I wish I didn't. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to HOG Isolation, which came on Triller TV. See, that's why I tell you every week, I got a Triller TV show for you. It's an app if you want to download it. Charles Mason defeated. It happened on the 25th. If the slider go over slide, go over. There we go. We had Charles Mason defeat Trevor Lee. For the HOG Cruiserweight title match, Darian Richardson defeated Jody Aurora. Forgive me. Masha Slamovich defeated Amira Shah. We had an I Quit match. Carlos Ramirez defeated Idris Jackson. I also like to say who comes out with him. Dr. Hillary P. Wisdom. Listen, this is a group of people. When they're together, I laugh every time. HOG Tag Team title match, the main event, which is Jay Lyon and the Midas Black defeated Center and Saint, Judas Icarus, and Travis Williams in a time limit draw. It was a hard-hitting match. This is a show I would say, okay, go back and watch because I enjoyed parts of some matches, a lot of other matches. Um, Also, the match that I would suggest you watch from here the most would be for the HOG heavyweight title match, Mike Santana versus Konosuke Takeshita, which ended in a no contest. J.News, did you hear about any of this? And
The only match that I saw promoted for this show was the Santana versus Takeshita match. Um, uh, Let me know why it ended in a no contest, Dolores.
I totally have forgotten,
Mm.
but I think it was some. It was interference. It was a lot, but the match itself, because I actually rewatched that this morning. I can't remember why. Listen, I'm getting old, y'all. Let me put myself up here. I'm getting old, and my memory getting horrible. And if I need to go back to do what we were doing in the old podcast, I was writing notes as the matches were happening. I don't do that anymore. so, so it's like my brain be clicking off. Hey Hassan, how you doing? So ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I would suggest you go back and watch that match. Go back and watch that match. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to the next shows actually, which have to deal with my good brother J News.
Yeah, so these are we're continuing on the road to Wrestling Duntaku shows here in 2025 for New Japan Pro Wrestling. We had some of the shows dated out. The shows on the 22nd. We had Katsuya Murashima defeating Daiki Nagai as Murashima continues his dominance over the other young lions. Jacob Boston Young, the JAY, defeated Masatori Yasuda as he continues his rise through the young lion ranks. Yasuda having more matches now. I think he's clear of injury. Bebop Tag Team with Furushi Tanahashi and Toru Yano, along with Master Wato, Oleg Bolton, and Yo, defeated TMDK members Hartley Jackson, Kosei Fujita, Robbie Eagles, Ryo Oiwa, and Zack Sabre Jr. House of Torture members Ren Narita, Sanada Show, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, defeated Bullet Club War Dogs, Clark Connors, Drilla Maloney, Gato, and Taiji Ishimori. The United Empires, Callum Newman and Francisco Akira, defeated Hiroki Goto and Ryusuke Taguchi. Just four guys members Taichi, Takamishinoku, and Yuri Uemura. Along with Shota Umino and Tomohiro Ishii, defeated Los Cinco Banamas Japon. Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, Shingo Takagi, Tetsuya Naito, and Yota Tsuji. And then we had the United Empire boys of the Great Okan and Templario defeat El Desperado and El Fantasmo. That happened on the 22nd. On the 23rd, we had Katsuya Murashima and Masatori Yasuda, and then the time limit draw. New Japan does have eyes set on Yasuda being a future star for them, so keep an eye out on him. He's currently a young lion. United Empire members Francisco Akira and the Great Okan defeated El Fantasma and Jado. House of Torture members Ren Narita, Sanada Show, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru defeated Bullet Club War Dog members Clark Connors, Drilla Maloney, Gato, and Taiji Ishimori. Bebop Tag Team of Hiroshi Tanahashi and Toru Yano, along with Master Wato, Oleg Bolton, and Yo, defeated TMDK members Hartley Jackson, Kosei Fujita, Robbie Eagles, Ryohei Oiwa, and Zack Sabre Jr. El Desperado, along with Hiroki Goto and Ryusuke Taguchi, defeated United Empire members Callum Newman, Jacob Boston Young, and Templario. And then just four guys, Taichi, Taika Michinoku, and Yui Uemura, along with Shota Umino and Tomohiro Ishii, defeated Los Cinco Banamas Japons, Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, Shingo Takagi, Tetsuya Naito, and Yota Tsuji. And that happened on the 23rd. On the 25th, which was Friday, we had Katsuya Murashima defeating Masatori Yasuda. TMDK members Kosei Fujita, Robbie Eagles, and Ryohei Oiwa defeated Master Wato, Toru Yano, and Yo. House of Torture members Ren Narita, Sanada Showa, Yoshinobu Kanemaru defeated Bullet Club War Dog members Clark Connors, Drilla Maloney, Gato, and Taiji Ishimori. United Empire members Callum Newman, Francesco Akira, Great Khan, Jacob Austin Young, and Templario defeated El Desperado, El Fantasma, Hiroki Goto, Jado, and Reisuke Taguchi. Hiroshi Tanahashi, along with Oleg Bolton, defeated TMDK members Hartley Jackson and Zack Sabre Jr. And then we had Los Ingo Benama Sabon, Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, Shingo Takagi, Tetsuya Naito, and Yota Tsuji defeat Just Four Guys of Tai Chi, Taka Michinoku, and Yuri Uemura, along with Shota Umino and Tomohiro Ishii. And then I believe we had this morning show, but I'm not sure if they had any results go down.
Oh no, no. Now the morning of shows, I just wait and preview.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the second show we're gonna skip. But TNA tonight will have Rebellion. We talked about it last week. Sorry, I thought it was yesterday, but it's today. So these are the matches if you want to see that we talked about last week that were gonna happen on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back to New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, so Wrestling Dontaku shows, but the show happened this morning. Daiki Nagai and Katsuyori Murashima versus Masatori Yasuda and Reisuke Taguchi went down. El Fantasma and Jado went up against United Empire, Francesco Akira and the Great Khan. Los Ingobernables Japón, Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, Shingo Takagi, Tetsuya Naito, and Yota Tsuji went up against Just Four Guys, Tai Chi, Taka Michinoku, Yuri Uemura, Shota Umino, and Tomohiro Ishii. That seemed to be a very vibrant and emotional match. During the show, I would say that folks go out and watch that particular match because this particular match is going to be Naito and Bushi's last match at the arena that they were in for today's show. House of Torture members Ren Arena, Sonata Yosho, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru are going to go up against Bullet Club War Dog members Clark Connors, Rilla Maloney, Gabe Kidd, and Taiji Ishimori. House of Torture members Evil and Yujiro Takahashi went up against Bullet Club War Dogs David Finley and Gato. Bebop Tag Team Hiroshi Tanahashi and Toru Yano, along with Master Wato, Oleg Bolton, and Yo, are going up against TMDK members Hartley Jackson, Kosei Fujita, Robbie Eagles, Ryohei Oiwa, and Zack Sabre Jr. And then Bishamon, Hiroki Goto, and Yoshihashi, along with El Desperado, are going to go up against United Empire members Callum Newman, Jacob Austin Young, and Templario.
Bring us back in the studio real quick. I had to go back and look. It was Charles Mason. He has a new look. He got muscles and a new look. That was confusing me. Charles Mason is the one who stopped the match between Konosuke and Mike Santana by attacking Mike as he was trying to get a pin submission on Konosuke Takeshita, and he began to punch and bite him in the forehead.
Interesting. Well, I mean, at least they protected both guys, which is basically the case. So,
yeah,
good enough. Haizen no Kune on the 29th, which is on Tuesday. Hiroshi Tanahashi is going to go one-on-one versus Young Lion Masatori Yasuda. Katsuyori Murashima, Oleg Bolton, and Toru Yano are going to go up against TMDK members Harley Jackson, Ryohei Oiwa, and Zack Sabre Jr. Los Ingo Benama Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, Shingo Takagi, Tetsuya Naito, and Yota Tsuji are going to go up against Just Four Guys members Tai Chi, Taka Michinoku, Yuri Uemura, along with Shota Umino and Tomohiro Ishii. House of Torture members Evil, Ren Narita, Sonata Show, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru are going up against Bullet Club War Dog members Clark Connors, David Finley, Drilla Maloney, Gabe Kidd, and Taiji Ishimori as Gabe and David return from their weeks off. Bishamon members Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi, along with Reisuke Taguchi, go up against United Empire members Callum Newman, Francesco Akira, and Jacob Austin Young. For the NJPW World Television title, we're going to have a one-on-one rematch between the Great Khan and El Fantasma. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title match, we're going to have the Ichiban Sweet Boys of Kosei Fujita and Robbie Eagles go on a match against Master Wato and Yo. And then for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title, another hardcore match, we're going to be seeing El Desperado go one-on-one against United Empire member Templario. Then we have Road 2 Wrestling Dontaku shows on the 30th. Katsura Murashima is going to go up against Daiki Nagai. Master Wato, Oleg Bolton, and Yo are going to go up against TMDK members Hartley Jackson, Kosei Fujita, and Robbie Eagles. Bebop Tag Team of Hiroshi Tanahashi and Toru Yano go up against TMDK members Ryohei Oiwa and Zack Sabre Jr. House of Torture members Sonata Show and Yoshinobu Kanemaru will go up against Bullet Club War Dog members Clark Connors, Rilla Maloney, and Taiji Ishimori. House of Torture members Dick Togo, Evil, and Ren Narita will go up against Bullet Club War Dog members David Finley, Gabe Kidd, and Gato. Los Ingo Benama Japón, Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, Shingo Takagi, Tetsuya Naito, and Yota Tsuji will continue to go off against the Just Four Guys team of Tai Chi, Taka Michinoku, and Yuri Uemura, along with Shota Umino and Tomohiro Ishii. And then Bishamon, Hiroki Goto, and Yoshihashi, along with El Fantasma and Ryusuke Taguchi, are going to go up against United Empire members Callum Newman, Francesco Akira, the Great Khan, and Jacob Austin Young. And then we have the show on the first. We're gonna do more Road 2, Wrestling Dontaku, Daiki Nagai versus Masatura Yasuda. The Young Lions going one-on-one. Bebop Tag Team, Hiroshi Tanahashi and Toriano Master Wato, Oleg Bolton, and Yo will go up against Team DK members Hartley Jackson, Koji Fujita, Robbie Eagles, Ryohei Oiwa, and Zack Sabre Jr. House of Torture members Ren Narita, Show, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru will go up against Bullet Club War Dog members Clark Connors, Gabe Kidd, and Taiji Ishimori. House of Torture members Dick Togo, Evil, and Sonata will go up against Bullet Club War Dog members David Finley, Drilla Maloney, and Gato. Tai Chi and Tomohiro Ishii will start to tag team. They'll be going up against Los Ingobernables de Japón, Bushi and Tetsuya Naito. Los Ingobernables de Japón, Hiromu Takahashi, Shingo Takagi, and Yota Tsuji, and the six-man tag will go up against Just 4 Guys members Takami Shinoku and Yuya Uemura, along with Shota Umino. And then we'll have Bishamon members Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi, along with El Phantasmo and Ryusuke Taguchi, go up against United Empire, Callum Newman, Francisco Akira, The Great Okan, and Jacob Austin Young. CMLL, El Consejo Mundial de la Lucha Libre, will be doing a collaborative show with MLW. It will be Azteca Lucha 2025. And this will take place on May 2nd. So it's going to be CMLL versus MLW. So we're going to see first match, a women's match is going to be Reina Isis versus Janai Kai. Donovan Dijak and Ikaro Kwan will be going up against Galeon Fantasma of Barbosa and Zandokan Jr. MLW World Tag Team title match. We're going to have Cozy Max of Okumura and Satoshi Kojima, the champions, go up against Los Depredadores of Magnus and Ruido. We're going to have the legend that is Paul London go one-on-one against tremendous talent in Neon. MLW National Openweight title match. We're going to see the champion, Matthew Justice, go one-on-one against the legend himself, El Último Guerrero. And then in a non-title match, we're going to see another legendary CMLL Mexican masked wrestler in Místico go one-on-one against Kush the God, the one and only Kushida.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and as I said before, all MLW pay-per-views and shows are on their YouTube, Major League Wrestling MLW.
And then we have the main show, Wrestling Dontaku, taking place on May 4th or the 3rd. I thought no, it's 2 nights. That's right. It's on the 3rd and 4th. So it's going to be Master Wato, Oleg Bolton, Toriano, and Yo going up against TMDK's Hartley Jackson, Koji Fujita, Robbie Eagles, and Ryohei Oiwa. Los Ingobernables de Japón, Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, Tetsuya Naito, and Yota Tsuji go up against Just 4 Guys, Tai Chi, Takami Shinoku, and Yuya Uemura, along with Tomohiro Ishii. Bishamons, Hiroki Goto, and Yoshihashi, along with Ryusuke Taguchi, will go up against United Empire members Callum Newman, Great Okan, and Jacob Austin Young. El Phantasmo and Jado will be going up against Don Cat's family members, Konosuke Takeshita and Rocky Romero. Hiroshi Tanahashi is going to have a one-on-one match against Zack Sabre Jr. Shingo Takagi is going to have a one-on-one match against Shota Umino. And then we're going to see the steel cage 10-man dog pound cage match. House of Torch members, Evil, Ren Narita, Sonata, Show, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru are going to go up against Bullet Club War Dog members Clark Connors, David Finley, Drilla Maloney, Gabe Kidd, and Taiji Ishimori.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first day of 2 days. But what happens is that on that Sunday we go live. So we'll be previewing the second night next week. That gives us time to watch it and do what we need to do. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to drop my good brother J.News because I'm about to tell you all my spotlight. Don't make me big. Please don't do that. There we go. My spotlight. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to say my spotlight is because I love them. And they are a fun, funny, exciting tag team. It is the WWE Tag Team Champions of the Street Profits, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely love them together. I also love Montez Ford separately. If you all do not know, Montez is married to Bianca Belair. And also, my boy Dawkins just had another baby. So I enjoy them together. I enjoy their new promos. I also enjoy this new attitude they have. They're supposed to be heels, but we're too busy having fun with them to even see them being heels. Them showing off the opulence of riding in fancy cars and wearing nice clothes and telling people they ain't the one to be messed with. Listen, I also like them with B Fab a little bit because they kind of like bringing her up a little bit more. Where I like to see her wrestle now. So my spotlight of the week is the Street Profits. J News, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? There we go.
I think that the Street Profits are a talented tag team. I feel like those gentlemen deserve all the accolades that they're getting right now, currently as WWE Tag Team Champions. I don't know how they're delineating the championships now, because I know there's a pair of tag championships on Raw and another pair on SmackDown. But the Street Profits, to me, have always been talented. They've always had that connection to the crowd. Like you said, very, very, very fun guys. I know that they've been wanting to shed the fun guy stuff and wanted to be taken more seriously and all that jazz. Good for them for evolving their characters and whatnot. But
But we still gotta have a good laugh with them, and they still give us a good laugh because them Shawn Michaels outfits they came out with that was just hilarious and fun. And I don't know if you seen like the because some people stop watching once the close credits come on. If you saw after the show, like once like the credits came on and they kept rolling for a little bit, they were out in the crowd just like pumping it up. People were having a good time. It was fun.
that's cool. I mean, I've always appreciated those dudes. Dawkins continues to work so hard on improving himself in the ring and things of that nature and all that. Shout outs to him. Didn't know he had another baby, but shout outs to him and the wife. Montez actually was the sanctioned party that married him and his wife last year at the end of the day. So yeah, that was cool to see in some beats in some backstage stuff. But yeah, I've always respected them as a tag team. I know that WWE and a lot of people think that Montez Ford has a great future ahead of him as a single star and things of that nature. I don't disagree. I just feel like, let the tag team run, do what it has to do. I think they still have things to do as a tag team before you run Montez out there as a single star and things of that nature. So yeah,
I
good
think
win for them.
Montez is trying to. When he met his wife, they were the Street Profits in NXT. They were the main attraction. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
And then his wife has kind of surpassed him.
mm,
And I even in watching their show, he's expressed like, I want to be just as good as my wife. I want to be seen. I'm not taken serious. And she's even said like, sometimes I feel bad that I'm like the spotlight and he doesn't get to share it. And so I think during that time they talked about during the show they talked about he ended up picking up Otis because he said my wife picked up Otis, and so I got to outdo my wife. And then it was the chamber, and he didn't really tell anybody he was going to do that move where he climbed up to the top and just flipped off. And that was like she was scared and horrified, and he was just like, my wife, and when she's in these types of matches, she does something where it's like you cannot people watch it for millions of times. And I had to do something to show that like I'm deserving to be here. And so doing that death defying move from the top, which he climbed up to the top, held on and then just flipped backwards, was just like his way of showing that he deserved to be there and he deserved a chance and a shot. And I felt watching that show, I really watched it because I Bianca, but then I ended up being like, oh man, I love Tez and I wish he would get a shot. I wish that, because he's like, if Street Profits ain't getting a shot, which he's said openly in interviews, Street Profits are not getting a shot. Well, what about me? Why can't I get a shot? Why can't I get ahead? And I'm busting my butt and I'm flying through the air and I'm almost breaking my neck to make sure I get either meet or us in a place where they'll see us. And I think that will be good. I think that's also a reason why they kind of explain why Bianca has not been teamed with them to be like their faction. You know what I'm saying? Because she is the spotlight and you don't want to stand in the shadow. But I think this is an opportunity where they've been standing out. Their video packages have been good. Their promos have been good. They've been good in ring. And even with Dawkins has been training at Nightmare Factory. Him, Moose, Naya, when she was, initially fired, she was there. It was almost was there. So I think they're getting the help and training they need to better themselves. And so I think he's a lot better. And even with his promos and the video packages, he's gotten a lot better, a little bit more emotive. Because they also show that he's the quiet one. He's the he's the one that's like, oh, okay. And he even talked about his, I think in a video package one time they talked about his shorts and how he became to wear the shorts. And he was like, well, I didn't really have nothing else. I thought, this would do, and I just wore the shorts. And then they kind of was like, okay, well, this is a part of you, who you are. So I commend him for that because when you got a newborn, you already got a child, you just got married, you're going through the ups, downs, roller coasters to become tag team champion and still put your 100% in there and make sure you show up and show out. I give him credit all the way. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the end, the end of the road. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's time for J News, and I got one for J News today. Ladies and gentlemen, let me put a QR code up there so you don't feel alone. He got a friend. He got a friend in his QR code. Ladies and gentlemen, AI spoke for J News today. It said, man, J News breaking movies down like a Sunday plate. Real seasoned and hidden every time. If you ain't listening to him, you just watching wrong. Listen, it gave me a hood page, J News. There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, J News is going to tell you about himself because, as we all know, that's a good man, Savannah.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks, Dolores. That was an interesting line that ChatGPT dropped on me today. Interesting. Uh, what was I going to say? Well, as usual, folks, thank you for watching the Hit the Ropes podcast and whatnot. My QR code here to my side has my link tree. My link tree links you to all the different things that I do throughout the week, all the different content that I'm a part of. John L, your friendly neighborhood moviegoer, is I. John L is my first name. That's the J News. Do my movie reviews, some written on the Letterboxd app, so you can check that out. I have my profile linked in my link tree there. Just finished watching The Accountant 2 over the weekend. Went to the movies with the homies. Definitely liked and enjoyed and was very entertained by that movie, even though I didn't watch the first one. So it's actually gotten me in position to want to watch the first one. So shouts to The Accountant 2 on that end. Shouts to the movie Sinners for only dropping 6% on their second weekend in theaters. That is a historical mark for a movie considered as a horror film to only go down 6% in the box office one weekend over the other. For folks who are not aware, the Sinners movie is a movie that is directed by Ryan Coogler and stars Michael B. Jordan. I recommend the movie. Go out to your nearest movie theater, grab whatever concessions you like, and go watch a film. Also on my link tree, I should have the other podcast I'm a part of when it comes to New Japan Pro Wrestling stuff, and that's True Heel Heat. I should be on this week to preview Wrestling Duntaku. So check me out on True Heel Heat there as well. And yeah, Yeah, that's really all I have for right now. And as always, folks, keep on watching us every Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the Hit the Road podcast, as we like to break it down in the week that was in professional wrestling. Thank you, as always, for everybody in the chat and for everybody watching.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good man, Savannah. You don't want to miss out. You better go over there and check him out. Get your fitness tips too. Ladies and gentlemen, as we started a couple of weeks ago, I pick a rap song and I pick what it feels like it's not funny. What I feel like might be good for me. Okay. ChatGPT is picking for J.News, and for me, I got a rap song. Because as you all know, I love a good rap song. Today comes from Ken the Man. It says, you know I don't give a F, never do, never will. I need a bad boy, make me put me in his will. I try not to go outside because every look, you know, I ill. Okay, so I think that's how, you know, because she had a song that this is not the song, but she has a song that says, "Oh, this is the song, cocky." So ladies and gentlemen, my lyric is from Ken the Man. So I'm gonna put up my stuff, but actually my stuff is different from your stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me take the quotation down real quick because I'm about to tell you all a little bit about a close friend of mine's and something I want you all to support. 10 has changed her dates and times for you and price. Listen, I was excited for all these things. But 10 is doing a mastermind course and it will be on the 17th and the 18th from 12 to 4 p.m. And she has dropped the price, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I told Tim to get her money, but God told her to drop the price, and so that's exactly what she did. So, ladies and gentlemen, for $50, 2 days, $50, you get to learn about doing your brand, doing everything you need to do for your business. If you need, listen, if you want to learn how to better your business, how to grow your business, how to track the audience, how to do the websites, how to do 10 goes over all of this for you in these 2 days. Okay. You saying, Dolores, you know what? Even though she's today, I might not can make it. You know what you can do? You can also buy the replay after the 2 days. Okay. She Listen, I was like, 10, you gonna record it? You gonna get listen, that's a businesswoman right there. And I tell you, go to theeducatednatural.com. Her link is already dropped in chat for today. Check it out. Go to the product section. If you need your website to be built, managed, she does all these things. Also, if you want to join her membership, you can. It's on YouTube, The Educated Natural. We're having a meeting today at 4 o'clock. So get some information, get your tad bits. What I want to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, is that when you get your information from 10, you can you can use it to better your business. But on her higher plan, she has it where you can she'll walk you hand in hand through the business paperwork from LLCs to anything else. Go check out The Educated Natural. Okay. Listen, and for us artists and members and above, guess what? What's gonna happen? You get a discount. Listen, I'm telling you from firsthand experience, I was excited that the price changed, but I'm even more excited for a discount. J News, you know a good discount to make anybody happy. So, ladies and gentlemen, please go check out The Educated Natural. Now, on to me. Hi, I'm Dolores from Dolores Designs. I do a lot of things. From recently, I've made merch with somebody. I went over and set up things, ran lives, did social medias, worked with businesses. I have done it all, ladies and gentlemen. Make songs. Listen, I love technology. I love graphics. I love to help people. So you can reach out to me. Also, for those who don't know, when you go to my link tree after you scan my QR code, I have a 30-minute session that you can have with me to see where you want to go, where you want to work out through for booking. So my booking site is on my link tree now. So make sure you check that out too. If you're saying, Dolores, that QR code, I might not get scanned in. I got you. I got another QR code. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you come over to Dolores World. Here on every social media, Dolores has fun, okay? We're getting up to where we're getting to different places and doing different things. In Dolores World, we have from shorts where people are trying to save my world to tech advice to sports to watch alongs. Thank you for everybody who was with me for the collective. I've so much appreciated. We were on 24 hours a day for a couple of days and we made it. So, ladies and gentlemen, also don't forget about me, J.News. We on every social platform. And guess what? I'm up to date, y'all. I can finally come in here and say I'm up to date on all the stuff that goes on Spotify. I normally try to wait 2 or 3 weeks or even towards the end of the month and drop out episodes over there on Spotify, which is on iHeartRadio too, and Amazon Music. So we will be expanding more. This is just a start off. Try to get people in. If you want to get the QR code for the Hit the Ropes podcast, it is right here. Also, I think it's in my bio, but it's definitely in my link tree if you check it out. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've had a good day. J.News, did you have a good day today? Was today especially fun for you? I know we don't see you, but we can hear you. There we go.
Yeah. Today's been good.
Short and concise.
Yeah.
And we came in. You've gotten us twice this week, ladies and gentlemen. You got us on Tuesday and you got us on Sunday. Okay, and I'm appreciative of J.News for both days because your girl up here with these names, sometimes I be struggling, brain be on pause. Okay, but I appreciate you all. I so much appreciate that every week we set this thing on fire. Okay, J.News is burning it down. Listen, I be trying to tell them, J.News, keep your clothes on. Me and J.News, we ain't trying to see all that. We got virgin eyes. Okay? That's why he a good man, Savannah. He ain't out here swinging from pole to pole. Okay? So listen, ladies and gentlemen, I need you all to do me a favor. I need you all to keep your clothes on, keep calm, because I got something every week that will help you. And that is if I cut the lights out. J.News, you felt that breeze? Hold on. Y'all hear that breeze? It's a cool breeze. I feel like I'm Beyonce out here, okay? The breeze has gotten so good. But you know what? We'll be back to set it on fire next week. And until then, peace.